who's ready to rise up with these hands? Man, I told Roseanne, because I watched this video last night, I'm just crying like a baby. And I'm back there trying to keep it together. We see images of our sisters and brothers in need. We must, with these hands, rise up. Man, these are, sisters and brothers, some extraordinary times. Some people might say that we are living in revolutionary times. Some historians have noted that there were 3 revolutions in America's history, and I want to walk you down memory lane. Our first revolution was the American Revolution in the 1770s. We know we were fighting to achieve freedom from Great Britain. The second revolution happened during the Civil War in the 1860s. This revolution was waged over slavery. And our third revolution in our country's history happened in the 1950s through the latter part of the 1960s, and that was fought to achieve racial equality. And what these 3 revolutions, sisters and brothers, have in common: 1, the United States was born; 2, slavery was ended; and 3, we eliminated through the Civil Rights Movement most of the federal and state-sanctioned segregation and discrimination in this nation. Now, sometimes, sisters and brothers, it is important that we have a flashback. We need to understand how far we have come to understand where we are going. What those 3 moments have in common, they were about 100 years apart. But all of these moments, from the American Revolution to the Civil War to the Civil Rights Movement, all of these moments were pushed by a sense of urgency and a gnawing desire for freedom. All of these moments were about movements, and here we are in 2017 moving for another revolution. It is the people's revolution. And if I might, for a moment, stay in the synergy of the civil rights movement, just for a moment. And I thought about that march from Selma to Montgomery, over 8,000 people marching. And Dr. Martin Luther King gave an address right after that march as he was reflecting on all of the victories that the people had had, even though the establishment of that time told them that it would not work and that over their dead bodies would people rise up to fight for racial justice and equality in these United States of America. He paused for a moment to reflect on a 70-year-old woman who was from Selma, Alabama, and at the time of the Montgomery bus boycott, the 70-year-old woman, whose name is Miss Paylard, was asked a question about whether or not she wanted a ride. They were marching. They had boycotted the bus industry, as you all know, the transportation industry that refused to treat African Americans as equals, even though they took 100% of their money, but they treated them like 25% of a human being. But in Dr. King's reflection, when Mother Paylard was asked whether or not she was tired and whether or not she needed a ride, she said these following words. She said, "My feet is tired, but my soul is rested." Now, Mother Paylard may not have had subject-verb agreement, But what she had was something far more important than subject-verb agreement. She had heart-soul agreement. And that is, sisters and brothers, what our moment is all about. It is about heart-soul agreement. And so as we reflect in 2017, as we embark on the fourth leg of this revolution in America, our underlying goals are not much different than the goals of our foremothers and our forefathers. Our underlying goals are not much different than how President FDR laid it out in his speech about the four freedoms, and I got to take you back there. He said in that speech that we should expect from our political and economic systems the following: equality of opportunity for our youth and others, jobs for those who can work, security for those who need it, the ending of special privilege for a few, the preservation of civil liberties for all. He said what we should expect from our political and economic systems is very simple. It is not complicated. And so what I say to you, that what we are working for in the People's Summit, we are going to move from the People's Summit to the People's Plan, and that is what this summit is all about. We are hashtag Show Enough awake this morning, awake for justice. So to take what all of our freedom fighters of the past, I'm feeling a couple of folks, but I'm really feeling Sister Congresswoman Shirley Chisholm, that in 1972, she stood up practically alone. She didn't have establishment folks. She didn't have celebrities. She didn't have big names, but she said that her very presence there today in that particular time was the hastening, it was a changing of the political dynamics in America. To my sisters and brothers of the People's Summit, what I say today, that our very presence here is a changing of the system in America's history, that we are the change. That we are the change. Dr. King further reflected in 1965, and you got to follow me on this. He said, those who possess power without compassion, those who possess might without morality, those who possess strength without sight. We're gonna rest right there right now, because we got a whole lot of folks who possess power without compassion. The fact that we don't have a humane immigration system in the United States of America, people who possess power without compassion. The fact that we have people with a lot of might and no morality. The fact that in Flint, Michigan, to this day, almost 3.5 years later, our sisters and brothers cannot turn on their faucets and have clean water. You know, I was talking to a sister who is from West Virginia as I interviewed her yesterday. And she said to me during that interview that in some parts of West Virginia, our sisters and brothers do not have clean water. They don't even have access to the internet. But here we are, in the wealthiest nation on the face of the earth, a nation that can do anything that it puts its mind to do, but yet we sit here and there are folks in our country who do not have clean water. It is a sin and a shame, and it is immoral, and we will not stand for it with these hands. We will. We will rise up. To have people who have strength without sight. It reminds me of something that the great president of South Africa, Nelson Mandela, who had been in prison for over 20 years, almost 30 years of his life, and he came out of that prison seasoned and more determined than ever to change the trajectory of South Africa's apartheid. He said it always seems impossible until it is done. What I say to you this morning, sisters and brothers, that our pursuit for social justice and economic justice and the reform of a criminal justice system that sees black and brown folks as more criminal than anybody else, a system that refuses to give women their whole damn dollar, a system that does not respect the fact that the working poor and barely middle class in this country are not asking for more than what they deserve. They are asking for a hand up, not a hand out. We must change the dynamics in this country. We rise and we fall together with these hands. We will rise up. And it is time out, sisters and brothers, for us to, we're not gonna play the games with the folks. We will make this happen. Because if we can send a man to the moon, we can have Medicare for all. If we, a nation that enslaved black folks for 250 years, 100 years of Jim Crow, 50 years of something else, stole the land from our Native American brothers and sisters. If we can abolish slavery, we can have a $15 an hour minimum wage with these hands. And if this nation, as a symbol of the Statue of Liberty, says, bring me your tired masses. But yet we live in a country that is steeped in a type of racism that is insidious, that is in the DNA of America, that we would deny our Hispanic sisters and brothers, our Haitian sisters and brothers, the opportunity to come to this land and make a difference for their families. With these hands, we will rise up. I'm feeling this thing. I just read an article the other day that talked about the prison system in California and the fact that it costs more money to imprison folks, that with that same money we could send folks to Harvard University with these hands. If we can spend $80 billion a year to house folks in prison, my God, why can't we have free college and university in the United States of America with these hands? We will rise up. And we're not gonna leave a sister or a brother behind. To my lesbian, gay, transgender, queer sisters and brothers, with these hands, we will make sure that Lottie Dottie and everybody is afforded the opportunity to love who they will out in the open, baby, with these hands. We can't leave a sister or a brother behind. And it just boggles my mind how people who hold the people's power neglect to work on behalf of the people. It is not too much to ask. And for my millennial sisters and brothers, any young people in the house, who showed us in 2016 what vision looks like. It is not by happenstance that Senator Bernie Sanders received over 2 million more votes and support from the millennial generation, the most diverse generation, the largest generation in the United States of America, because they see what the future looks like. They got a vision for what the future looks like, and it is a future that never leaves anybody behind. With these hands, sisters and brothers, we will rise up. And this is not just about the family is together, but what this summit is about is the family getting together, planning together, and taking the power together with these hands. And now we gotta leave this place and really do the hard work. And it is good for the family to get together, to be refreshed, to be renewed, but we have to go back and do the hard work. And whether that is you yourselves running for office or supporting somebody, whether it's you deciding that you're gonna adopt a school or adopt a student, see, none of this stuff is complicated. It is very simple. You see, titles are good. They get your phone calls returned. They get you in the room. Titles are good, but purpose is better, baby. Purpose is better. Purpose is better. See, I know a whole lot of titled folks who won't put anything on the line for the next generation. All they care about is the next election. But we are living in a time where you gotta care more about the next generation than you care about the next. You gotta care more about the next generation than you do about the next election with these hands. And I remember my sister, Roseanne DeMauro, the baddest. And we were in California, and she gave this riveting speech. She shook the whole room, and what she said is that we're not gonna just have unity for the sake of unity. We're not just gonna go along to get along. That is the moment in time that we are in right now. And what is happening in California, although it is seen as the most progressive state, it is one of the most progressive states. Washington State is one of the most progressive states. But when we go down deeper, we find out that there are some things that need to change, some things that need to happen, some more stuff that needs to be done. And see, I wasn't gonna talk about the Democrats, but I'm gonna talk about the Democrats. I wasn't gonna go there, but a sister got to go. I got to go. Because the Democrats are the party who's supposed to stand up for the people. Yet you got to beg folks to pass Medicare for all in the great state of California, where Democrats are in control, not the Russians, not the Republicans, but Democrats. And if it wasn't for the nurses and everybody who wants to be a nurse shaking it up there, it wouldn't even pass the Senate. But it did pass the Senate, and now we got to get it through the Assembly, and the governor must sign the damn bill. I'm talking to Democrats. I'm talking to Democrats. I'm talking to the party that talks about diversity, but only comes and see the African American community every 4 years. That's the party I'm talking to. Yes, I'm talking to the party that has yet to elect an African American to an African American woman as a governor in the United States of America. I'm talking to Democrats. You can't just talk the talk, baby. It's time to walk the walk. We're going to take a page out of Janet Jackson's book, What Have You Done For Me Lately? I'm talking to the Democrats. And if they ever want to win again, if they ever want to get those 1,100 seats that they lost, If we ever want to regain governor's mansions across this great nation, we cannot just talk the talk and whisper sweet nothings in the ears of folks. What we have to do is show that when we are in power, the lives of people change. I'm talking to Democrats. Now, to my progressive sisters and brothers, it is not enough for us to be right. We got to win some elections. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Because politics, and I know we're an emotional group, and that's all right, baby. We feel deep. But politics is the art of the possible. Politics is about who has the power and how they wield that power. It is not enough for us to be right on the issues. We have to win elections. We have to take back the power and then use the power on behalf of the people and not for our own selves. But with these hands, you see, it does always seem impossible until it is done. So I want to remind you, I want to lift you that we are all in this together. Don't let folks divide us. There's a division going on, this conversation going on among the ranks between the liberals or the neoliberals and the progressives, whether or not we should talk about identity politics or talk about economics. Well, baby, the last time I checked, if you are a poor white, a poor Hispanic, a poor Native American, a poor Asian, a poor everybody in between, baby, we all in the same condition. But what I do need my white sisters and brothers to understand, that I need you to go tell it on the mountain, that if you are African American, if you are Hispanic, if you are our Native American sisters and brothers who have been left behind too damn long, and if it wasn't for the Standing Rock battle that brought them back to the fore, we should never lose sight of the struggle of our Native American sisters and brothers. But if you are those people of color, what I need our white sisters and brothers to understand is that the struggle is just a little harder. Just a little harder. You know, sometimes black women, talking to my sisters, everybody in here is a sister today. Sometimes we are accused of, you know, when they want to slam you and slander you, of being called angry. We can't be aggressive or assertive. We angry. We can't be determined. We angry. Well, sisters and brothers, this morning, I am here to say to you that my name is Nina Turner, and I'm an angry-ass black woman. I'm mad. I'm mad. I'm mad about a whole lot of stuff. I'm mad that we are not doing enough in this country to shore up. And guess what? We taking applications. Everybody can be an angry black woman. Join me, y'all. Taking applications, baby. Come on with me. Because if you ain't mad about something, if you're not mad about something, baby, you are not awake. With these hands, black, brown, red, caramel colored hands, we will rise up. I'm mad that we got to beg people in power to know that the wages of everyday people are not keeping up with inflation. I'm mad as hell that our young people have to graduate with a degree in one hand and debt in the other, over $1 trillion worth of debt. I'm mad as hell that we gotta beg people to understand that we must protect Mother Earth to have anything. Oh yeah, I'm mad. I'm mad that my sisters and brothers on the south side of Chicago, with a Democrat in power, Just say ouch if it hurts. That mamas and daddies and grandmamas have to worry about whether or not their babies can walk the streets in America. Oh yeah, I'm mad about a whole lot of stuff. But I want us to channel this anger. This is important. Channel the anger and the passion that we have into action. Because it ain't enough just to be mad. We got to do something with that anger. With these hands, we will rise up. It always seems impossible until it's done. Sister, brother, I'm about to wrap this thing up here. I do have tennis shoes on. I'm liable to run all around the room. I'm just feeling like that. I'm just feeling like that. Let me say a few things before I wrap up. We cannot turn on each other. And haters are everywhere. But we cannot turn on each other. Let's have a conversation with one another. Stephen Covey once said that we must seek first to understand and to then be understood. Let's not turn on each other within this movement. Everybody is here for a different reason. Some people are here because of the environment. Some people are here because we need criminal justice reform. Some people are here because income and wealth inequality just can't stand. Some people are here because they know and understand that the healthcare system is flawed, is faulty, that people are dying, and we got to do something about it. Some people are here because they care about what is happening in the immigration space. It doesn't matter why you are here. We are here together, and with these hands, we will rise up.